I am in Florence, Italy, the birthplace of the Renaissance. I only have a couple of hours here, so in this video we're going to quickly see some of the most iconic landmarks in Florence. This is the Galleria dell'Accademia, a historic art gallery that is home to Michelangelo's David. I can't believe I'm here in Florence but won't be able to see David. Oh well, I will definitely see it on the next visit. Here on the Piazza del Duomo is the Great Duomo of Florence. This iconic cathedral is a masterpiece of Renaissance architecture. Construction began in 1296 and was completed in 1463. The most impressive aspect of Europe's fourth largest cathedral is its colossal dome. The dome was designed by the artist and architect Filippo Brunelleschi. It was the largest dome in the world to be built without scaffolding, truly an engineering marvel. Here is the front facade of the Duomo, which was added in the late 1870s. Now I did not go inside the Duomo. I decided not to wait in the line, but here's some footage of the interior, including the amazing rotunda frescoes called The Last Judgment. Across from the Duomo's entrance is the Baptistery. One of the most incredible features are the east doors of the Baptistery. The bronze doors were commissioned in 1401 to celebrate the end of the bubonic plague in Florence. Lorenzo Ghiberti sculpted the doors. They were called the Gates of Paradise by Michelangelo. The 10 relief panels in the doors depict various Old Testament scenes, such as Moses receiving the 10 Commandments and the battle with the Philistines. These are not the real doors. They are housed in the Duomo's museum. Right next to the Duomo is the Campanile, designed by the great artist Giotto. While it's not quite as tall as the dome, it still reaches a towering height of 276 feet, while the dome reaches a height of 376 feet. It is possible to climb up Giotto's Campanile, and also to go up to the top of the dome, but I don't have time to do either. The Duomo is so amazing to see, especially that classic dome. I found Superman posing on a street here in Florence. This is the Piazza della Signoria, which was the historic political center of Florence for centuries. Towering above the piazza is the Palazzo Vecchio. It was the Grand City Hall of Florence and has a long history. The palace was completed in 1322 and was where the Signoria met during the Republic of Florence era. But as the Medici family gained power, the Duke Cosimo I de' Medici moved his operations into this palace in 1540. Adjacent to the palazzo is the Fontana di Nettuno from 1575. The piazza is packed with some great Renaissance era sculptures. Underneath the Loggia dei Lanzi, there are lots of sculptures. Here's a bronze sculpture of Perseus holding up the head of Medusa. This sculpture was supposedly intended to intimidate Cosimo I's enemies. Just outside the entrance to the palazzo is a statue of David. This is a full-scale replica of Michelangelo's masterpiece. However, the real David stood here at this spot from 1504 to 1873, when it was moved to the Accademia. I didn't get to see the real David on this visit, so seeing this copy where it once stood is pretty cool. Right by the piazza is the Uffizi, one of the world's greatest art museums which I sadly will not be visiting. This gallery is home to some incredible paintings like Botticelli's Birth of Venus, along with many other valuable works by medieval and Renaissance Florentine and Italian painters. Outside there are sculptures of some great Florentines, such as Leonardo da Vinci. There's Giotto. And here's Niccolo Machiavelli, the father of modern political science. That unique bridge with buildings atop it is the Ponte Vecchio. Those are all historic shops lining the entire length of the bridge, which is pretty amazing. That is the oldest surviving bridge in Florence from 1345. The various shop buildings on the bridge were originally home to blacksmiths, butchers, and tanners, so it would have been a dirty and gory bridge to cross during the Middle Ages. However, those businesses were evicted in 1593, and the shops have since been replaced by jewelers and goldsmiths. So there are some very high-end jewelry shops along this historic bridge now. Thankfully, this was the only bridge in Florence that survived World War II bombings. There is also an elevated walkway atop the bridge that was added in 1565 so that the Medici family could cross the bridge without having to interact with commoners by literally walking above them. Here's a bust of Benvenuto Cellini on the bridge. He was a famous artist and goldsmith. There are some great views of the Arno River in Florence from this bridge. This bridge is really fascinating. It's just like a medieval or Renaissance village, but over water atop a bridge. Pretty cool. Here's a neat sculpture of a tree and its roots. This is the Piazza Santa Croce, one of the largest squares in Florence. It looks like they're taking down the bleachers and cleaning up from the Calcio Fiorentino games in the piazza. It's an annual tradition where locals play a more antiquated version of football, from my understanding at least. This is the Basilica of Santa Croce, the one place that I did go inside of here in Florence. There is some incredible artwork inside, along with the tombs of great Florentines like Michelangelo, Galileo, Machiavelli, kind of Dante but not really, and others. All that is featured in a separate video that is linked in the description. So Florence is a marvelous city. I really want to come back to explore the great museums, churches, and palaces here, so I intend to return for a much more thorough visit. Still, even with a couple hours, I had a great time. If you enjoyed this video, then please like it, share it, and subscribe to my channel. Also take a look at my other videos featuring other historic cities and places, museum tours, natural wonders, and more here in Italy, as well as across Europe and America. Thanks for watching.